Hey guys, welcome to the VP Racing Fuels Shootout. I'm Bob Morielli.
I'm Brett Lundquist.
And in this shootout, we're going to be comparing several of your favorite race fuels. The first thing we're going to do though is have some baselines. We're going to be baselining pump gas against pump gas with octanium, which is their fuel additive that brings the fuel up to about 100 octane. And then from there, we're going to be comparing MS-109 against C16. And then finally, we're going to shoot out the ethanol-based fuels, which is everybody's favorite C85 against X98. And so let's talk real quick about how we're going to execute this. We're going to have a test type where we're going to test every fuel to find its proper lambda or air-fuel ratio and what spark advance it really prefers for the most safe power. So Brett, tell us about the fuels.
Like you mentioned, Bob, we're going to start with 93 octane, just your normal pump gas that you get from any station around here. And then we're going to go ahead and take about 10 gallons of that and we're going to add octanium. Like you mentioned, it's also going to bring that up to about 100 octane. So we're going to baseline, find out what we can do somewhere around that 93 octane octane fuel, and then we're going to slowly add timing or change our air-fuel ratio to optimize our results on each fuel. Every fuel will get treated the same. So when we move on to our MS-109 or our C16, we're going to do the same thing, and then we're going to slowly either optimize our air fuel or spark or both in order to find what the optimum results are on each fuel. Moving on to C85 and X98, those are going to be our ethanol-based ones, and we're going to do the same thing. Now, one of the important things to understand about these is they all have different octane ratings. So we talked about 93, we talked about octanium being 100. The MS-109 is going to come in at about 105.5 octane, where C16 is like 120 plus, so it's extreme octane. Yeah. Then when we get to C85, surprisingly, it's only about 96.5, somewhere around there for octane, and then our X98 is about 111.5. So we should see some pretty drastic differences between all these fuels.
I absolutely think we will. So I'm excited. What do you say we get to it?
So what are you going to be driving?
Okay, for our shootout, I have brought the Tuning School's new 2019 Challenger Scat Pack 6.4. It's got a forged engine, it's got pistons and rods, it is stock displacement, it is stock compression, but it does also have a ProCharger D1X. Nice. And aside from a set of injectors, that's pretty much it. And I think it's more than enough for what I see that you've brought to the shootout.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well,
I think so.
I'm rocking the LS crowd today, which is kind of strange for me, but yeah. I'm pulling for you guys, all right? So I've got a 416 cubic inch LS3 in there. We also have a ProCharger D1X, just like you. We do have a little bit lower compression ratio. We have a full fuel system as well. It's kind of a race car. However, yeah, just knowing what I know about LS cars, I'm sorry, your Challenger doesn't stand up a chance.
I hate that you say that because I think I know why you say that.
Why is that?
I think it's because it comes from your experience as a Ford guy.
Well, you know, winning is you know, my experience.
Yeah,
so definitely going to be on the LS.
There's no Ford in the shootout.
That's all right.
We picked the top 2 out of 3.
We'll see.
All right, it's time to check out some results. Do you know?
I do.
Do you know?
I know how mine did.
I know how mine did.
Let's check them out. Let's
Okay,
see what happens.
let's see it. See.
All right.
You're gonna have to cancel screen.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna start with the Corvette.
Sure.
Let's start with 93 octane. All right, so we're here to baseline our 93 octane, figure out what Octanium might do, and then we'll move on to some other fun stuff later on.
do
But
it.
my Corvette did pretty good. This is my baseline. This is my best baseline.
Okay.
And we're seeing 649 to the tire, about 578
not bad.
torque. Yeah, not bad.
It's not bad.
I think we peaked on that one about 8.9 PSI, and it was pretty good. So you want to see what your Challenger did?
I know what the Challenger did.
I've got it saved up here. Let's go ahead and throw that on there.
Go ahead. I know what the Challenger did.
All right, so we've got the 93 octane best on the Challenger, and it looks like it was exactly 10 horsepower
Wow.
less, just exactly. Now it's almost 1 PSI down from that, so
true.
you know, 10 horsepower. I think that's pretty fair.
That's actually pretty darn
Yeah.
close. Like, it was the closest we could get pulley to pulley size.
Yeah, that was
pulley to pulley size.
That was
I
pretty
think
good.
That was pretty much it.
Pretty good. So
Yeah.
I'll take that round, right? Baseline.
Yeah,
Now, by the
yeah.
way, this was on 12
Although-
degrees of timing.
Yes.
Both of them, 12 degrees of timing. That's all they would take on 93. We couldn't
Yeah.
get any more in either one of them, or else they would knock.
Yep.
So this is kind of best case scenario for both of these vehicles.
Yeah. Okay. So the good news is, you're only like this much farther ahead of me.
Right.
But I also think that I'm going to be further ahead of you as we get down the line more.
Right.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
You should move along.
We're gonna go ahead and find
should
out.
see.
All right.
You should see. And actually, I think baseline wise, I mean, if I had just one
Drum
more
roll.
PSI.
We're gonna find out. Here is the Octanium, and it comes in at the green line there. So we went up 10 horsepower on the Corvette, and
Yep.
it's 659, literally 10 almost exactly.
Okay.
So you know, boost is the same, everything else is the same. We did get to 14 degrees of timing, so that was nice. We were able to get a little more timing in it. 15, it just kind of seemed to start knocking right there, so we stopped the test.
That's cute.
Yeah,
No, I mean, it's cute.
I'm afraid of what you're about to show
You-
me.
Go ahead.
What are you gonna do?
You know.
All right, let's find out.
Yeah.
And beating me by 7 horsepower today,
Thank you.
the winner,
Thank you.
sadly, the Challenger.
You mean the other than forged pistons, rods, and a supercharger stock Challenger?
You know,
beat the race car
maybe I
with
took
the
it
heads,
easy.
cam, headers, 416 cubic
Maybe I
inches
took
of
it easy on
LS3
him.
Fury.
I think I took it easy on you today.
You took it easy. You had an
Yeah.
extra pound of boost.
You know,
you still lost.
You know, lean is mean. Maybe I could have done something.
I
but
don't think so.
7 horsepower.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna say the win goes to you, but it wasn't by much. It wasn't by much.
It's kind of almost a tie. I mean, well, you know, considering
It was a good effort.
it's a good effort.
So now we're going
All
to
right.
move on to some
got
other
our
testing.
baselines.
We've got the baselines. We know what 93 does. We know what Octanium does for us.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and move on to some real race gas.
Yes.
MS-109.
Yep.
C16.
Yep.
And see what happens there.
Absolutely. All right, guys, so make sure you follow us on social media so you know when the next video in the shootout drops, and you can catch the results of the MS-109 versus C16 on both these cars. So it's going to be great. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.